Amanda Love, who is my special guest today. But before, actually, I don't want to forget, this is important. When you want to vote for a conservative candidate in the school board, some people believe because you go and vote for a straight ticket, Republican, that means that you vote for everybody Republican. But in the school board, you need to flip the back of the ballot and you need to actually look for the members, because for Clarkston School Board is no partisan. So you need to look in that. But Amanda's going to tell us more about it. So how are you doing, Amanda Love?
Oh, good. How are you, Jose?
Good. Thank you for being on my show today. A lot of people wants to know more about this race. It's very important election for us, the school board, as you know. And then a lot of people have the perception that it's partisan, actually, and believe in a lot of Democrats are representing, or liberals, I would say, representing us in the Clarkston schools. Well, first of all, probably a lot of people would like to know, why are you running for the Clarkston School Board?
Well, first and foremost, because I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 5, and I care about our children, and I care about our community. I actually moved to Clarkston because of the reputation of the Clarkston school system. And sadly, my experience during the school shutdowns and after hasn't been as positive as I believe it could be. So I wanted to get involved and make sure that we stayed on the right track here in Clarkston. So not only were there some poor decision making going on during, the shutting down of the schools, the masking, there was a serious lack of transparency that people, not only I noticed, but many people have noticed on the board because, and I'm guilty of this too. A lot of us didn't pay attention to school boards until the COVID shutdowns. And so after we did, we were noticing unanimous votes 100% of the time. They weren't really hearing the concerns from the parents as much as we would like. There's a 2-minute kind of cutoff if you want to speak at the meeting, and they'll kind of smile and nod and move on. And that's about all you get. So I decided to get involved, and if I wasn't going to get the answers from the current board, then I would just run myself, and that's really why I chose to run.
Thank you. What is the biggest issue with the current Clarkston Board of Education?
Well, yeah, just to piggy off what I already said, I think the biggest issue with our board right now is the transparency. There was a serious lack of transparency from economic issues, including the COVID-19 budget windfall. Still not clear where that $12+ million went. And there have been serious concerns by members of the community of, issues of indoctrination that we're hearing a lot about now on both a national level and a local level through these, whether it be CRT, DEI curriculums, and the Clarkston School Board's kind of response has been more or less to deny it even exists. And when you have documentation that it does in fact exist, and they're telling you it doesn't, that's not really a solution to these parents' concerns. So I would say transparency would be the biggest issue. And then, like I said, with the voting, being, at least from what I've seen, it's pretty much, unanimous all of the time. And that just gives a bad perception that, they're not really talking about the issues, debating the issues in the public eye like they're supposed to.
Sure. And then, as you know, you bring a good points about that, because, out of that summer and winter taxes, 39% of the money goes to the schools, which is the biggest budget. The township just get 29% of the 29% goes to the township, but 39% goes to the schools. So it's the biggest amount of the. Amanda, and what are your qualifications to serve on the board?
Well, I think my most important qualification is that I am a mother, like I said, of 5 children, including 1 child with special needs. So I have that perspective. I also used to be a substitute teacher in the district and other districts and a paraprofessional. So I have the inside kind of look. I have the look as a parent. And then I also have a professional background in, I do have a bachelor's degree in public policy. And I have former legislative experience in public policy, including education. So I think that gives me a unique advantage because, when we are talking about the budgets and, per pupil funding, and I know kind of the ins and out on the state level, and I can navigate kind of the politics of it and maybe even, formulate some change on not only a local level, but on a state level as well.
Absolutely. What do you think? Or do you think you will be a effective board member? What do you think?
Yes, I do. I know that some of the opposition is trying to paint me as this radical who cares about, academics should be in the classroom, and that I'm just throwing bombs everywhere, and that's really not what I'm doing. I think that my role on the board will be to kind of bridge the gap between the parents who are feeling unheard and the current board. I'm able to have a respectful and educated conversation with people on the board, even though I don't agree with them. And I will encourage and ensure that, the discussions that the board and I and whoever else, are having and the parents are having, that's going to be, in the public eye. That's going to be an open discussion, a civil open discussion that can formulate change for the better in the community and really encourage and ensure that parents have a voice in their child's education. That's important to a lot of parents, and they don't feel that they have a voice in their child's education with the current board right now.
I see, and I hear that around a lot during this election season. And this year is, as we see, is the year of change and positive change, because sometimes people say change, but sometimes it's not what we think change means. But I understand what the parents, people in Independence Township wants is a positive change with a positive results. And I think this is a conservative town, and that we want to keep it that way. And
absolutely, you were saying it's it is a 71 to 73% depending on the election year community, and so I feel like with that large percentage of the population's voices not being heard, that's really an injustice.
And it is. And then, it's a larger percent of the money goes to the schools, and we want the money to be, managed efficiently, properly. And also, we want to see more transparency. Like you said, some people don't have kids at the school, but they're still paying taxes. A lot of people pay their taxes, and 39% goes to the school. And we want the money to be effective, utilized in an effective way that goes to the classroom, help our kids, and get the results out of it. And I think everybody, we agree about that. And we want young blood with a lot of experience and right to make those changes, bring new ideas, and be effective. And I think that's your message, and I like that. And thank you so much for doing this. And then when is the election and how people can vote for you?
Yes, so it's just in the general election, November 8th. And so I will be on you have to flip your ballot over to the back nonpartisan section, and I'll be near the bottom of that nonpartisan section for Clarkston School Board. And I would really appreciate your vote.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone that's watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments or any questions, I will leave the contact information of Amanda. I believe Amanda needs some volunteers, people that somebody is watching right now would like to support Amanda. You can contact Amanda for any support, any donations for her campaign. I believe Amanda is taking donations. And then you can also visit her website, like her page on Facebook, and follow her on Twitter. And let's let's make the change that we need for Independence Township and Clarkston School. Thank you so much, and thank you, Amanda, for being here on my show.
Bye. Always good to see you, Jose.
Bye-bye.